Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have entered talks with Real Madrid over a deal to bring Raphael Varane to Old Trafford. Manchester United are willing to double Raphael Varane's wages in order to sign him this summer. Manchester United are hours away from completing the Raphael Varane transfer. J. Felix Diaz said not so long ago that Manchester United have to offer more money for Varane or the deal won't happen. Varane's departure from Real Madrid is imminent. Varane has told Real Madrid that he wants to join Manchester United this summer, and he's definitely decided to leave Real Madrid. He's notified Florentino Perez. Varane has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. He's set to sign a 5-year contract with the club, which will keep him at Manchester United until 2026. Fabrizio Romano said the other day that Varane's confirmed to Man United that he's ready to accept our contract bid. We can get Varane for around £43 million, which is a bargain. Looks like it's going to be our third signing of this summer transfer window. We received a massive boost in our pursuit of Varane because it says Real Madrid's wages were forced to be slashed by 150 million. Sky Sports said the other week that we'd been given permission to approach Varane over the personal terms. Raphael Varane and his family not so long ago were allegedly house hunting in Manchester. One point it said Varane's move to Man United could have been delayed because it said Varane would have been happy to wait another year for a switch to Man United. But a few weeks ago, Varane had given his word to Man United that he wants to join this summer. He did actually mention at that point that Real Madrid wanted Van der Beek on loan as part of the Varane deal. A swap deal was discussed. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. His current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. We went in for Varane back in 2011 under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We also went in for him in 2018 because Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. But Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. Some people don't think he's as good as John Stones. Varane will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and what a centre-back partnership that will be, Varane and Harry Maguire. They'll complement each other very well in our back line. Varane has endured 10 years or so at Real Madrid, so he's been a long-serving player. made 360 appearances in all competitions and won a lot of trophies, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. Not so long ago, Real Madrid lost Sergio Ramos. He joined PSG on a free transfer. Who'll be Manchester United's next signing after Raphael Varane? Now, there's been quite a lot of midfielders on our agenda. I give you the news on Ruben Neves yesterday. He says Man United are leading Arsenal in the race to sign Ruben Neves. Tottenham have also been interested. Wolves are willing to sell Ruben Neves for £35 million. Ruben Neves has made 151 appearances in the Premier League for Wolves. He's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. Wolves paid £15.8 million for him from Porto back in 2017. Ruben Neves is the age of 24. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him, and he is a midfielder. And if he came to Manchester United, I'm convinced he'd replicate what he's done for Wolves. Wolves lost Diego Jota last year, and that was one of their key players, and Wolves have really struggled since they lost Jota. He went to Liverpool, did Jota, and Wolves also lost Matt Doherty. Sport Build said yesterday that Manchester United have submitted a contract offer to sign Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich on a free transfer in the summer of 2022, which is next year. Leon Goretzka's current contract at Bayern Munich expires next year. Bayern Munich offered €10 million to €12 million to get Leon Goretzka a new deal, but Goretzka is demanding around €20 million. He wants the same wage package as Leroy Sané. Goretzka is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but he can be deployed as a holding midfielder, he can be deployed as a right winger, and he can also be deployed as a playmaker, so he's versatile. 26 years of age, so he's in his prime. Been at Bayern Munich since like 2018. Bayern Munich got him from Schalke, and before he's been at Bochum. I think he would be a good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. Saul Niguez, he's another midfielder on our agenda. Recently Solskjaer called Saul Niguez. Mundo Deportivo said the other day that Man United have been in advanced talks with Saul Niguez's agent. And it said Man United are the front runners to sign Niguez. Saul Niguez wants to make a move to the Premier League. Says Man United and Liverpool are set to rival Barcelona in the battle to sign Niguez. I think Atletico Madrid are willing to sell him for like £43 million. Saul Niguez has a $130 million release clause. He's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026. because back in 2017 he signed a 9-year contract. Being a long-serving player at Atletico Madrid, he's been with them for 13 years or so. Niguez can be deployed as a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder. Eduardo Camavinga, Manchester United are still linked with him from Rennes. Like I've said, I'm expecting Manchester United to endure a very good summer transfer window. Because I am convinced that Solskjaer's going to get all the players he wants to recommend in. Solskjaer said that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. And he did identify the areas where he wants to strengthen up. So far we've made 2 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free transfer from Aston Villa. And we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Our board did say though, didn't they, that they'd back Solskjaer with a new contract and summer signings. And before the summer transfer window opened, it said Ollie had been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Solskjaer's ambition for next season is to win the Premier League. We've got a good chance of winning the Premier League if we get Varane in and get 1 or 2 more signings in after him. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. Next season will be Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, because he's endured 2 full seasons at the moment. And Solskjaer is aware that next season is going to be massive for him. It's very imperative that we start off next season strongly, because if we don't, then pressure will be on Solskjaer. I'd say next season Solskjaer has got to improve on his decision making, because in a lot of the games he's managed so far at Man United he's been tactically naive, and he's got to win a trophy next season. Because if he wins a trophy next season, that will be an achievement. Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years ago now. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Man United are going to offload players in this summer transfer window. We need to, because there is still deadwood at the club. Maybe not many players will leave as we first presumed. Brandon Williams, there's a good chance that we're going to loan him out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities. Williams seldom plays for us, is our 3rd choice left back. Malik Tellez, he's been subjected to transfer speculation recently. It actually said Inter Milan wanted him on loan. Sky in Italy said the other week that Roma were in talks to sign Alex Tellez as a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. Tellez has only endured one season at Man United, but he's hardly played. He's made, 9 appearances in the Premier League. When we got Tellez last year, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately. We got him in a deal worth 15.4 million. Tellez is under contract with Man United until 2024. Phil Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him in this summer transfer window. Phil Jones has always been inconsistent. Doesn't get in R11 and he was out with injury for a while. Jones is the only outfield player that's still here from the Ferguson era. He's been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. As you all know, we've agreed to let Axel Tuanzebe go, which is the right decision. Diego Dalot, I think he'll be leaving. He was out on loan with AC Milan. Andres Pereira, I think he'll be leaving. He was out on loan with Lazio last season. Pogba could still leave Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Pogba's had a long running transfer saga. There's been quite a few clubs in for him. Now, it recently said that Paul Pogba was discussing the personal terms with PSG. It says Pogba is close to reaching an agreement to join PSG. PSG have not yet made formal contact with Man United over Pogba. Tuto Mercato Web recently said that Man United is set to receive a €60 million bid from PSG for Paul Pogba. PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. But a few weeks ago it said that PSG stepped up their chase. And Julian Lawrence did say PSG considering making a move, and Fabrizio Romano said that PSG are interested in signing Pogba and they made contact with his representatives. Well, last week, was it, Foot Mercato said that Pogba wants to join PSG this summer. Says we could have demanded 4 players as part of a Pogba swap deal with them. Pogba's also been linked to Real Madrid. He's been linked with his former club Juventus. He endured 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Obviously Barcelona have been in for him, and his Inter Milan have been in for him before. Now, it recently said that Paul Pogba decides to run down his contract, then he'll make a decision on his future next summer. He's probably going to be staying with us for next season, to be honest with you. It did recently say as well that a new contract for Paul Pogba could see him stay at Manchester United for the rest of his career. Paul Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Sky Sports News said at one point that Man United were in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. He said we wanted to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth $104 million, because he said we fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. He's a good player. Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. He does bring creativity to the team. One point last season though, Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. Pogba's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. And Daniel James, he's been subjected to transfer speculation before. I don't know if he's going to be leaving us in this summer transfer window. I initially thought that Martial, Donny van de Beek and De Gea were going to be leaving Manchester United, but it looks like now that trio are going to be staying. Also Matic looks like he's going to be staying, because I initially thought he was going to be leaving. So there you go, and Solskjaer, like I've said, I haven't changed my perception on him, despite us signing Sancho and despite us being on the verge of signing Varane. You know, Ole, he's not the long-term manager for Manchester United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect, but Solskjaer does deserve at least another season. You know, these United fans that are Ole in, there's also United fans that are Ole out. I've criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. But I've had my reasons behind it. But I still think Ole is our best manager since Ferguson, because in certain aspects he has brought consistency back. I think Ole has under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United now for like 31 months, which is over 2 years. Reflecting how long he's been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job, and he's tried a few different elements. So there you go. I reckon now Ole knows his best 11 with Sancho here, and he knows his best 11 if Varane comes in. I do have my concerns about Ole, like I've mentioned before, but you know, there's things I've got to credit Ole for. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far he has spent over £300 million. You know, this summer transfer window is his 5th transfer window as Man United manager. He must have brought a good 15, 16 players in, or something like that now. Brought a few academy players in as well. In the summer of 2019, Ole recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Ighalo in on loan. We let Ighalo go in January this year. In the summer of 2020, brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo Traore and Facundo Pellistri. Pellistri is now back with us, but we did loan him out back in January. Last summer we got 4 of those players on deadline day. And this summer transfer window so far, I brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer and Jadon Sancho, and we're obviously on the verge of getting Raphael Varane. Ole's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's coming as well, which he knew he had to do. When Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody's been given their chances. So that's nothing you've got to credit him for. Solskjaer, I like the way he develops the youth as well. Solskjaer did well in his first full season, did well in quite a lot of aspects in his second full season, despite us not winning the Europa League. But Solskjaer knew when he taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite knowing the club through thick and thin. And he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. But in general, I do think Ole has done a good job, personally. You know, look at the squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. He was inheriting a lot of deadwood. So I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. You know, I am surprised Solskjaer is still Man United manager, because we have enjoyed bad periods under him where he's been very close to being sacked. And obviously we lost the Europa League final to Villarreal last season, but with Solskjaer being a club legend, this is what's basically saved his job. Obviously we've had more patience for him. But if we do decide to eventually sack Solskjaer, who is going to come in to replace him? That's the question. But you know, when we have been inconsistent, not all of the blame has stemmed from Ollie, has it? Obviously, when we've enjoyed them bad periods, certain players have had to take responsibility. There is still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. You know, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. You know, Woodward, he's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a while. Obviously, Woodward's leaving Manchester United. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. And the Glazers, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time, because the Glazers have put us in so much debt. Obviously, there's been a lot of United fans demanding the Glazers out. There was a lot of United fans protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford towards the end of last season. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years. They purchased the club for $500 million back in 2005. So, anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.